All right. UFC 255 just ended literally like around 5-7 minutes ago, somewhere around there. And today I want to just talk about like the post-fight reaction real quick. And man, this card was all right. It wasn't the best of cards, but for nowadays for fight nights, it wasn't really that bad. This is actually considered a good card nowadays, and especially a couple weeks ago we did have like some good fight night cards. But this one was all right. It wasn't that big of a deal. Let's just run through the prelims and then we'll get to the main card. So, Fernandez won against Guam. Nathan Fletcher lost against Colin Longround. Shannon Bannon won against Pudia Tumar. Christian Leroy Duncan won against Andre Palave. Marcin Tybor won against McParkin. That's one of the picks I unfortunately got wrong. Leonard Cavani won against Felipe Dos Santos. That's another pick I got wrong. And Chris Padilla actually beat Jai Herbert, surprisingly enough. Now, if we move on to the main card, we have Nathaniel Wood winning against Morgan Shivari, Jordan Vakunik losing against Chris Duncan. And then we had one of my picks got right. Molly McCann versus Alexander Tisharin. I don't know how you say that. Molly actually retired, which is good because, I'm a hater, woman's a man. I also hate Molly. I never was a big fan of her, so that's a plus. And this is where it actually starts to get interesting. The last 3 fights of the card, these are really the only fights that I were actually looking forward to. The rest of the cards are like bum, except for like Tybor and McParkin. Those are like meme fighters. Anyways, so I actually picked Nelson to win, but unfortunately I lost against Kevin Holland. Now, Kevin Holland actually did a lot better in this fight than I think he would. I think Holland actually, well, I'm not sure it's because Nelson is like a bit old. Like, look, I'm looking at Gunnar Nelson right now, and how old is this guy? 36 years old. All right, he's not that old either. But he actually did decent. Holland actually did decent, even though I think Holland is a bit of a dick nowadays. He's a bit of a jerk. Not really like a good, nice person anymore. He just keeps... I don't know where Holland developed like this weird-ass personality lately. Just kind of like put up a front. But, it was a good fight. It was actually entertaining. It wasn't that bad. Nelson, I thought you could maybe give the argument for Nelson winning 1 round. You can maybe give it. I can't remember if Nelson actually won like at least 1 round, but I gave 2 rounds to Kevin pretty easily. And I wanted to say, no, I think Nelson won. No, but no. Nelson only really won 1 round now that I think about it. And it wasn't really that competitive. Holland was landing like tons of shots. And, I think he even almost got like... no, my bad. At the end of the 3rd round, like near the end, around the 1 minute mark, Nelson actually had him like almost in a submission. And I thought, oh shit, can we see like a comeback victory? And, unfortunately, Holland slipped out and actually... ended up winning the rest of the fight, hitting him with some strikes to the head. And, it was a good look by Holland. I would personally like to see Holland fight again at welterweight. I don't think he has business at middleweight. Even though I'm not really a fan of Holland anymore. Like, I do like watching him fight, but I just can't stand Holland as a person anymore. He's just been, like, so insufferable lately. But it would be nice to see him fight again soon. And preferably at welterweight if he wants to keep winning. I think at middleweight, he's just going to get dominated by those bigger guys. He doesn't really have a chance at middleweight now. Especially because middleweight's starting to get, like, there's some kind of, like, some bum fighters at middleweight, but there's not really that many. And I just don't think that he can, like, keep up with them at middleweight. He's just too small, too, now that I think about it. So, good fight by Kevin Holland. Now, the co-main event, Jan Blachowicz versus Colin Oberg. Some people might think this is controversial because some people are calling this robbery. Some people think that Jan actually won that fight. And I was a close fight. It was really close, actually. And I actually edged it to Ulberg, man. I edged it to Ulberg. I know some people are might going to call me out for that and say, oh, how can you say that? Jan won 1 and 3. Round 1 and 3. Or round 2 and 3. I gave Ulberg the 1st round, and then I gave him the 2nd round. I gave the 3rd round to Jan. And here's the thing. The 1st round was very competitive. It was very competitive, but I just thought that Oberg landed more shots, and that was what counted more. When you land more shots, that's when it really matters. I think the majority of the shots that Jan was landing was just heavy, like, low kicks. There weren't really anything special in terms of, like, to the head. Like, yeah, sure, he hit Oberg into the head a couple times, but I just think Oberg was landing more shots. And I'm not saying this as someone who's openly biased against Jan. I'm not really a Jan fan. This guy just rubs me the wrong way for some odd reason. But I do think that Ulberg actually did do enough. I really do think he did enough in the 1st and the 3rd round. Or, my bad, in the 1st and the 2nd round. Ulberg won 2, and then Jan 3rd round. And I think this is better for the division too. I think if Jan would have won this, it would have been worse. But there also was the thought in my head, like, I know UFC is not completely safe from being rigged. Like, what if the judges actually thought that Jan won that fight and they just give it to Oberg so they can shake up the division? Because Jan winning at 42 doesn't really do anything for the division, honestly. You could say, oh, Ankalaev rematch, Pereira rematch, or you can do like a Yuri match. And, those are still matchups that I would like to see Jan fight, even at his older age at 42. But I don't think Jan is relevant at the title scene anymore. I just don't want to see him fight for the title. I don't want to see Jan even challenge for the title at all, honestly. But I gave it to Ulberg. I thought he won 1-2. I gave the third round to Jan. Some people may see this controversial and call it a robbery. I don't think it was a robbery. It was a very close fight, but I just slightly edged the first to Oberg. And it was a good fight. Well, not really. It was kind of boring, but it was good in terms of it being competitive. Now, here's the one I got the worst. My pick in the main event was wrong. Leon Edwards lost against Sean Brady by submission in the 4th round. Man, Leon Edwards, I think he's cooked, As some people would say, I think Leon Edwards is cooked. I think it's over. And, I think I actually agree now. I picked Leon Edwards to actually dominate him. Like, if you guys saw my last video, the thumbnail was literally saying dominates Sean Brady. Man, how wrong could I have been? That's like the worst pick of the month, actually, so far. That's a really bad pick. I can't believe I got that wrong. Sean Brady won all rounds. I didn't give a single round to Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards was a little bit competitive in the first, but I think Sean secured the first round with that takedown attempt at the last second or in the last minute. And as the rounds went by, Sean just kept getting those takedowns, keeping him down. And it's crazy. At one point, I thought Leon Edwards was going to be one of those guys after beating Usman, after beating Kobe. I thought he was going to run through Bilal. I thought he was going to have 5 title defenses, actually. I thought he was going to run through Bilal. I thought he was going to be Shavkat. I thought he was going to be like JDM and Brady. I thought he was going to have a really good run at welterweight, And he could have been maybe potentially welterweight go because I thought his skill set was really good. I mean, come on. In the third match against Usman, he took him down. He controlled him. He actually got a takedown on Kobe Covington. He denied those takedowns. It makes you wonder, is the welterweight division evolving? Is Leon Edwards past his prime? Is he just not in it mentally? Is his skill set worse? What's going on with Leon Edwards? And I'm not saying, Leon had a bad night. Leon is a bad fighter. No, Leon is still a good fighter. It's just that why is his skill set not translating as well anymore? Or is Sean Brady that good? Are we underestimating how good Sean Brady is? Because I know Brady is good. His only loss is his current champ, Bilal Muhammad. That's really good. 18 wins, 1 loss. That's actually an amazing record, honestly. Having your 1 loss be against a champ, that's nothing to be reckoned about, That's nothing to say, oh, that's not good, that's bad. No, that's good. Having 1 loss against the champ is not really that big of a deal. And I don't know what you do next with Leon. I think for Leon, you just kind of have to sit out and wait. I honestly think Leon should have 1 more fight, but if he can't pull it together and loses 3 times in a row, I think it's time to call it a career. I just don't think Leon is in it anymore mentally. And his skill set, I used to think was one of the best skill sets ever at welterweight, but now it seems like he's just having trouble putting that skill set together. I thought his grappling game was better, and he can actually keep up with those grappling guys, but it turns out he can't. And Sean Brady, man, he's really good. I think what you do next for Sean Brady is this. So check it out. Bilal Muhammad versus JDM in May. I'm not sure if Islam Makhachev wants to move up and challenge for the title. I think what you should do is Islam should fight Topuria International Fight Week and then move up. So what you can do is you can have July, or my bad. If JDM or Bilal wins, whoever matters, what you can do is you can give Brady versus Shavkat for the title shot. Does that make sense? Brady versus Shavkat? I mean, think about it. Brady versus Shavkat, well, Islam moves up if Islam beats Topuria. If he beats Topuria, then you have whatchamacall. You have Islam moving up at 170, and then if he wins or loses, the winner of Bilal or the winner of Brady versus Shavkat can, have that fight. Because right now there's a bit of a logjam. Who do you give the title shot to? Do you give it to Brady? Do you give it to Shavkat? Well, how about we clear it up? How about we have him fight for maybe an interim belt? I know interim belts don't really make a lot of sense nowadays, but how about you have, Brady fight Shavkat? If if Makhachev actually beats Topuria and decides to move up to welterweight, maybe you can have freaking Islam Makhachev move up at welterweight around October time, maybe November, to fight like Bilal or JDM, and then after that, depending who wins that, they can fight the winner of Brady versus Shavkat. That's just my opinion. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Just wanted to keep it short. Not really that short. It's like this video is just a little bit under 11 minutes. If you guys like the video, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I think I'm gonna do a couple more videos very soon, so that should be interesting. Anyways, see you guys.